story of Narsi Mehta. Narsi Mehta was a very great devotee of the Lord Krishna. He was a great devotee of Krishna. Now, this is a few centuries ago. He was working as a godown keeper to a king of Gujarat. And Gujarat is known for half of the land of Gujarat is purely sand. Half of it is okay. Now, where he was stationed by the king, that place had tremendous amount of drought, no rainfall. And he was supposed to, be the godown keeper of the granary. Granary is a place where they keep all the grains, okay? So people came to Narsi Mehta and they said, you know what? We are all suffering very badly. Can you give us a few grains free just like that? Because we don't have any money. And Narsi Mehta opened his godowns. Everybody came and took whatever they wanted and emptied the godowns. This news reached the kings. And Narsi Mehta would himself go on his horseback to all the villages over there, distributing food grains and stuff like that. So the king came to know, the king was staying in a far away place. He came to know that Narsi Mehta was behaving this way and he was distributing everything away. So he said, he sent his people, his soldiers, and he said, tell Narsi Mehta to pay for all these things. Otherwise you catch hold of him and bring him over here, tie him up and bring him up over here. We'll put him in jail. We'll torture him and all that. Okay. So the soldiers left from their place. It was some 2-3 days journey by horseback. Meanwhile, in the court of the king, a person appears. He's completely dark, black. Okay, he's a very black looking fellow. And nobody wants to take him. So he says, he tells that person over there at the gate, he says, Narsi Mehta has sent me. Why? Because he wants me to give something to the king. So they usher him in front of the king. And the king asks him, who are you? So he says, my name is Kalia. Kalia means blackie. Black color. Who are you? I am the servant of Narsi Mehta. I am a blackie who is a servant of Narsi Mehta. So why have you come? I have come to make the payments which my master has sent of all the food grains that he has distributed over there. So the king says, okay, I don't think he can pay for that amount of, the grains that he has distributed. He has gone and destroyed my entire godown. He says, no sir. I have brought the payments, please have a look at it. And then he starts pouring in those gold coins and other things. And there are so many coins over there, you cannot even imagine it. It is not worth one granary, but it is worth 10 granaries. The king is highly pleased. And he says, oh my God, Narsi Mehta is richer than me. Narsi Mehta is richer than me. Oh, so nice of him to send me so much of gold and jewelry and all that for the food grains that he has distributed. I think we should give him more. And he tells the servant, oh, thank you so much, and now please take some rest. So the servant says, no, I have to serve my master, so I have to run away from here. and the blackie, he runs away from there. Remember, the soldiers had gone to that place to arrest him, because if he is not able to keep. When the soldiers meet Narsi Mehta, they ask him, see, the king has said that, if you cannot pay for this food grains that you have distributed, you are supposed to give us back. Otherwise we are supposed to arrest you. He says, I have nothing to give. I am a poor man. So they tie him up and they put him on a horse and they bring him in front of the king. So the king asks, why have you tied him up? Now remember, the king doesn't know that his soldiers have no clue about what has happened. So he says to me, untie him, untie him. And then he is lovingly telling Narsi Mehta, please come and sit next to me. Narsi Mehta is looking at him, is something really wrong with him or what? So he says, no, you come sit here. Have some rest. I'm so happy, to know you, because I don't know you directly. You are one of my employees, but I know you are a very rich man and very good-hearted person. You sent me so much of money. Narsi Mehta looks at him and says, what do you mean by that? I never sent you any money. No, your servant came here. His name is Blackie. Okay, Kalyo he called. And he gave so much. Oh, how did he look like? Oh, he looked like some bumpkin from the village, Is that so? And what was he wearing? Oh, he was having one, peacock feather stuck in his head. It's a very funny character. Narsi Mehta immediately recognizes that is Krishna himself who had come over there. So Krishna is Lord Almighty. And then he starts crying in front of the king. The king asks him, why? What is wrong? He says, you don't understand. You met Krishna. I don't have any servant. Actually, I am his servant. Why is he saying he is my servant? That is the Lord Almighty, and he has come and paid for everything. And this is what happens. Narsi Mehta was so sad that he couldn't meet Krishna. But he said, you know what? You met Krishna. And he tells the king, I'm so happy that Krishna came and did this. This is what happens. You will have to go through problems in your life. There will be trouble. But don't be afraid. Things are not as bleak as they look. There is always something at the end of it. You may not even get the real darshan. Darshan means the face-to-face kind of a experience with the Divine Lord. But people around you, everybody who comes in association with you, they will actually feel it. But they will not say anything to you. Because they cannot see. Whereas you can see. See means you have the knowledge. But you do not have that understanding that the Lord is there in front of you. Why? Because the devout, those who are devoted to the Lord, cannot actually see the Lord. But they know this finer power works over there. Other people will feel you are doing everything. You are doing means either you are paying those people, you are giving them certain gifts. They feel that you are being very kind and nice. Whereas you know in reality that it is the Lord who is working. It's not you. The Lord is your servant over there, by the way. But you won't understand that immediately. You will have to go through the process little by little.